Camera's
Meet the
rolling.
Of the 20 richest men on the
Camera's
planet.
rolling. Picture me rolling.
Are we rolling?
Not yet. Well, the cameras are rolling. Now
Are
we're just getting everything
Are you gonna
set,
press
buddy.
the button?
All right, we're gonna get this show going.
Remember, we gotta press record on this.
All right, here we go.
You gonna press the button? There we go.
They said it couldn't be
I'm
done.
turning my
They
phone
said
off
it
now.
wouldn't
Do you know how
last.
to turn your phone off?
White
This
man,
time?
black
Turn
man,
it off.
America
Airplane mode.
F1.
Done. Done and done. Is it playing?
America F1 coming to you straight from San Francisco, California. Sherman Tillman, Michael Waller. America F1.
Yeah! Woohoo! Another show, another show.
Preseason testing is over.
Is it?
It's over. It's only 3 days.
It was only 3 days, but it seems like it's still going on.
Well, it is. It's like because they're in Bahrain until the first race is on Sunday. So
It's like, let's show the great countryside of Bahrain. Okay, let's not.
it's the desert.
Oh, it's just...
It's a cool race because when they started it, it was at daytime, and then they put it at night.
At night.
It made it better.
That made it a lot better,
It made it a lot better.
You know, what if they had some like day-glow tires, that the tires were like spinners, and it was like blue or red as the cars are going on?
It's going to be a boring race, unfortunately.
So
That's
today's
my
show
prediction. Is a prediction of what's going to happen
Let's
this
get
year.
down to let's talk about what the show's going to be about first. Today's show is going to be a review,
About Red Bull.
but not really. It's going to be a review about...
Red Bull.
It's going to be a review about 3 days of testing. and
Which Red
then-
Bull dominated.
Yeah, and then we're going to do our predictions for the upcoming season.
Red Bull going to win every race. That's my prediction.
Huh?
And Lando Norris to Red Bull 2024. You heard it here first.
You know what?
Oh, he's
That's
going.
good for conspiracy.
No, he's going. It's
No,
like,
let's do that conspiracy. Okay.
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 You wanna start off with conspiracy
let's,
theories?
No, let's start off with testing.
Oh, well,
and
testing's-
what you thought about testing. Let's rank it. Let's go by the numbers and give me who had the most laps completed. I think that's on the last page. Let's go.
I think someone had like 300 or 400 laps. I think that
let's
was
go with most laps completed.
439 for the Williams team. Everyone was basically
Okay,
300.
let's talk into the microphone. Come on,
Everything
kids.
was basically around 4 something, except for McLaren, which was at 312, but their car kept falling apart. I think that's going to be a common theme with McLaren this year because they lost their dude who was the technical director is now at Audi as the CEO.
So did you go through all the miles?
Yeah, okay.
1 through 10.
Williams 439, Ferrari 416, Red Bull the 2023 world champion 413, Haas 412. Mercedes 408, Alfa Romeo 401, Aston Martin 387, Alpine 354, which Alpine are sandbagging like mofos.
They have to be because they looked awful.
No, they didn't. They were just doing long runs on the hard tires.
They had to be sandbagging.
312
They
from
only used
McLaren.
one tire the whole time.
Yeah, they never touched the soft tire.
Switched the soft.
And supposedly everybody has updates coming for the first race.
That's what they were saying.
Except for
let's
Red
go.
Bull.
Let's go by team what we think they did. Let's start at the bottom. Who at the bottom?
McLaren.
McLaren looked awful.
McLaren could possibly be the worst team this year.
I don't think they're going to be the
Unless
worst.
they show up at
We'll leave that to
unless they were just
predictions. I think
going out there and making themselves look bad on purpose.
They look no, but they look so bad that
Their whole
it's
brake assembly
reported
fell
that
apart at
Lando
one point.
Norris was walking back in the paddock.
He hit
and
the
was
wall
walking
at
through
one
and
point.
He hit the wall. I mean, it had to be a really soft wall because if it was a wall like
And he's
like
like
this,
5 foot tall. It's
Yeah,
no
he
big
might
deal.
hurt himself. You know,
Like
he won't
Lance
be able to play
Stroll
video games anymore.
broke both
Like,
his wrists.
Yeah.
So,
and how did he do that?
He hit 2 walls as he fell off his bicycle.
Oh, dude, why do they ride these bikes?
I have no idea.
All these accidents on bikes. Like,
Well,
stop
Nicky
it.
Hayden died doing that.
Yeah.
Alex Zanardi is basically a vegetable. Lando Norris fell off, broke both his wrists, and somebody else broke their.
I thought Ricardo had an incident with the bike years ago.
You can ride a bike in the house.
You can
What are
ride the
doing?
bike inside. You can go to a spin class.
Why don't you just
stop riding the
All you
damn
have to do is
bikes
the
in the
elliptical.
Alps?
It's just
stop
cardio.
it.
It's just cardio. Swim. There
Yeah,
you go.
it's just
I've never heard
cardio.
of anyone drowning during training. So.
Yeah, but these guys are getting injured doing things like that.
Okay. Anyways,
Just don't do it.
This is my
All
prediction.
right, so
for the season.
McLaren was a dog. Okay?
McLaren's going to be the worst.
Wait, did the car look good? Did you like how the car looked? Did you like the colors?
Oh yeah, I like the chrome on the thing.
Yeah.
It looked good.
You know, it's a good looking car,
But the car.
but
Now we know why Ricardo didn't do well last year because the car was a dog.
because the car's a dog.
It was a dog. It was like supposedly it was on a knife edge the whole time, and to compensate, he was overcharging the tires, which is why he was slower than Lando. And he gets a year off. He's still getting paid millions of dollars to do nothing.
Very smart.
He's on a motorcycle trip across America as we speak instead of it.
Check out our merch, by the way.
I might get one of those if Sherman would have got me one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Looks tight, baby.
I think it'd look better in
You
black.
want one?
$500.
You know what? Like, subscribe, put it in the comments. Say you want. Like,
Okay, what's my prediction for
hoodie
this?
merch? America F1 merch. Looking good.
My prediction is.
All right. So what was the next team? The next team was Alpine.
I'm going to say Alpine might be the
I think
third.
they were sandbagging,
I think they might be the.
but they're going to be down there.
Okay, I think no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be between them and Aston Martin.
Let me show you how to do predictions here. This guy.
It's going to be Aston Martin and Alpine are
All
going
right.
to be
So
the best of the
this is
rest.
what I thought. Who had the best? Obviously,
Red Bull.
testing. Red Bull by far. They're in
The
a
Ferrari looked good too. They completely
World-class-
changed the front of their car too.
of their own. I think Red
No.
Bull.
No.
Right now, Red
Yeah,
Bull's probably a good. Probably.
But we don't know.
We don't know, but they look really well.
Yeah, the car doesn't bounce. It's always fast.
And it
even
looked
if
good on the
Sergio's driving it.
corners. And even when Sergio was driving, it looked good. Okay.
But the Ferrari looks good too. They changed the front of their car for some reason.
Ferrari, not only does Ferrari look good, the color schemes look good.
Yeah.
The car looks good.
And
I
the
like-
Haas is a complete ripoff of last year's
I
Ferrari.
like how the Ferrari flows. Like when you look at the livery and you look at the car.
I wish it was shiny instead of
and
flat
you
though.
I like the flat mat. And you just look at how
They're only
everything's
painting that
put
because it's
together.
lighter.
It looks. It's like a piece of art, really.
But the Haas team basically copied last year's Ferrari. I
Like,
mean, it's a copy.
I never buy those little models for cars.
What do you mean
but
models?
Yeah, they have those little models where you can get the car
Yeah.
and have like a reproduction of what the car looks like. I think I'm gonna get this year's Ferrari. It's that.
Okay,
it's
Sherman's
that,
gonna be 12 again.
It's
Okay.
it's that lowly, and I'm
Go to
gonna
the
put it
next
together like
team,
I
Skip.
was a little
I
kid,
think the Aston
and I had
Martin-
my little battleship, and I put it together, and I have the little.
People seem to
planes
think
on
the
top of
Aston
it.
Martin
It's
might
great.
be
It's
better
great.
than the Mercedes this
childhood.
year so far.
Aston Martin. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Okay, so we talked about Ferrari. So 1, obviously Red Bull. 2, Ferrari. 3, most likely Mercedes.
Are the Aston Martin?
I think the Aston Martin looked great. I don't think they're gonna be better than Mercedes because I do think Mercedes was sandbagging.
Oh, Mercedes is going to show up with some side pods this week. That's what
they're going to show up, and it's going to be almost a whole different car.
Yeah.
But believe me when I say they're going to be right there in qualifying because
Well, the Aston Martin looks good. It's a good car. They have a good team. Their factory's going to open in May.
And you know what would be great if Fernando Alonso actually made a good team move for once.
It would be the first time,
Right? It would be the first time that he's ever changed from one team to another, and the other team actually looked good.
Well, no, he did that when
I mean, Ferrari looked
when
good.
he went to Ferrari.
Ferrari
They
looked good. They just couldn't
they
win.
made him bad cars like
Yeah.
3 years in a
Yeah.
row, and he got frustrated.
He's
and-
had, for a guy with the talent that he has.
Yeah, but he causes so much trouble where he goes. He's the worst
just-
teammate.
I
Worst
don't-
teammate.
I don't
He's
know
like
what it
team
is in his
He's like
makeup.
To as a teammate. He's
Yeah,
like
I don't
team
know what it is
obliterator.
in his makeup that just makes people dislike him.
Because he's all out for himself. He's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, but all these other guys are out for themselves.
Well, so is
You don't
Verstappen, and no one
hear-
likes him very much. So, I mean, the other drivers don't like him, and the fans don't like him. But he's the best driver right now. So.
He is the best driver. Okay, let's move on. So we said Aston Martin most likely fourth. Now here is where
No,
we
I
get to
said Aston Martin's third. I think
okay. Wait.
I think
say that again.
I think Aston Martin is the third best car right now.
After what we saw in testing,
and
preseason
I think they have the best looking car too. I think it's
Oh,
the
you
lines.
like that green?
No, not the color of the car. The lines of the way
Lines?
the car
I
looks.
really like the Ferrari lines, though.
Yeah.
I just like the Ferrari lines.
Anyways,
Did I say that I'm going to Italy to watch Mazda this year?
he's gonna pay $6,000.
I don't care how much
Are
I'm
you
paying.
going
I
to the
don't
Paddock Club? Are you gonna do that again?
I'm not going to do the Paddock Club for Mazda, but I am going to take my daughter to a Paddock Club race.
That's crazy.
Because, I mean, you can't take it with you, bro.
All right.
All right. So then I think it's going to be a close for fifth. Who do you think is going to be fifth?
Oh, I think Alpine.
I'm going to give you a couple names, and then you tell me what you think. Alfa Romeo.
Nope.
You said it's going to be third. I say it's going to be fourth. I really think it's going to be Mercedes second. I think they're going to beat Ferrari this year, but whatever.
I mean, that maybe at the end of the year, but I'm talking about the first race.
We're talking about the first race. Okay, so Alpine, McLaren.
I didn't say McLaren.
Alfa
I think
Romeo.
McLaren's
I'm giving you a bunch of people. So
I
you
think
can
McLaren's
pick
going to
two.
be last.
And
I
then
don't
you have
think they're going to.
Haas and Williams. Who's going to be fifth, Mike?
Well, the Williams did a lot of laps and they were pretty quick, but they have a different guy over there building.
They got the guy from Mercedes, right?
No, he's just the team principal, but they have a different. They have a different guy doing the car this year. They hired him. I think they hired him last year.
Therein lies our great technical analyst from Mike. It's a guy.
We think it's a guy.
We think it's a guy, and I think he does this. I mean,
But
where else could you get something like that?
But they've been building
else?
dogs for so long now. It's like it looks like they actually came out with a decent car, but they still don't. They don't have any good drivers.
They're so far off the pace. I mean,
Logan Sargent is like
thing where they were showing the data.
But we're gonna have an American driver in Formula One this year.
Yes, America F1.
Not that we care, but
they had this data dive on how the teams compared to last year after testing and what the differences in times were compared to last year. Obviously, everyone improved, but guess who improved the most?
Aston Martin.
Williams.
Oh, did they?
They improved the most comparatively to last year.
Remember, this is just practice. We're talking about practice right
talking
now.
about practice here. Why are we here talking about practice? Why are we here talking about practice?
Like, what's that? I don't.
And I'm the team. I'm the game. I'm the MVP. I'm the guy that people come to watch.
Okay.
But we tell you talking about practice.
The only thing about practice is the worst team that showed up the last 3 days was McLaren. Their car just fell apart over and over again.
So then, I think, let's talk about who you thought was the most disappointing.
McLaren.
By far, right?
Yeah, they were.
Like, there's nobody even close.
They were a team on the rise in 2021, and then the new car came out, and their car was a dog. And then they tried to copy the Red Bull, but they couldn't do the floor. That's the key to the Red Bull is the floor.
What I heard, and a little bird had told me.
You know a bird?
I know a couple birds. You know who I like when you talk about birds? I'm really liking ravens and crows.
Why ravens and
crows?
They're
just so smart.
That's
They're
a good
very
point.
smart bird.
Well, they're kind of cousins, right?
If you feed a raven or a crow, they'll remember you.
They'll come back and call you.
They'll come back and you give them food again, and then they'll bring their friends.
Okay, well we need to move back on. What was your point?
Okay, so my point was, the McLaren, they found out through their testing that they should have went a different way with the car. That they had in preseason they were going to go this way, like they were going to go to the left. But then they went to the right, and then they figured out, oh shit, we should have went to the left. And that's why Lando Norris was so infuriated, because he's like, you had all this time to figure this out.
And they built a dog last year.
And they built a dog last year, and now they built him another dog.
That looks like a copycat of the Red Bull last year.
So I'm going full, where's my glasses? Where are my glasses?
Oh, you're doing the conspiracy
I'm going full conspiracy
now.
right now.
I'm not doing the glasses today. My eyes hurt.
Why?
They just hurt. Every time I put
I
them
look
on.
cool in these glasses, that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, I like your Elvis glasses better.
Yeah, well, I brought these
You look kind of like Ray Charles with those on.
You want me to do my Ray Georgia?
Georgia. Never mind.
Georgia.
Come on, spit it out your conspiracy
I'm hanging on.
Conspiracy theories.
I just wanna. Okay, so my conspiracy is Lando Norris is done with McLaren.
Oh God, yes.
And Checo, if he doesn't have a great year, I thought Ricciardo was going to replace him, but I'm going to say that Checo is going to be out, Ricciardo is going to be somewhere else, and Lando Norris will be driving in Red Bull.
That's what I said at the beginning of the show.
Next year, Lando Norris will be driving. He's had it.
I already said that at the beginning of the show. This isn't
He's had it.
This isn't much of a conspiracy theory. No,
and I don't blame him, because he's in the prime of his life right now.
Well, he should have. That last year, the McLaren should have had a good car, and they didn't. And it's like, what the
But
hell's
who
going on
looks
over there?
smarter now? Because he was teamed up with, wasn't he teamed up with Carlos Sainz at one point?
Yeah, for 2 years.
So who
Was it
looks
2 years or
smarter
1 year?
now? Carlos Sainz for moving to Ferrari,
Well, he
or
got the
Lando Norris for staying at McLaren?
No, that was dumb. He should have went to Red Bull when he had.
He should went to Red
He
Bull.
had a chance to go
He had
to
a
Red Bull.
chance, and he didn't do it. And now he's in regret. So sorry. Moving along. My other prediction, and here's my other conspiracy theory. Fernando Alonso left Alpine. Daniel Ricciardo left Alpine when it was called Lotus.
No, it was called Renault.
No, it's called Renault, right? Sorry, my bad. They're both black and
Anyways,
yellow. They both have the bumblebee colors.
No. The Lotus was black and gold. Now, come on.
But black and gold is like black and yellow.
No, it's completely different.
What are you talking about?
Spit out
Is
your
gold
conspiracy.
not yellow?
No, it's gold.
But it looks
It's
yellow.
no, it doesn't. It looks gold. Now, come on. Spit out your conspiracy
Frig.
theory. Dear Lord.
There's something going on at Alpine why all the drivers want to leave. There's something going on
They
at
don't
Alpine
have any money.
why not only the drivers want to leave, but technical people want to leave. People want to leave Alpine in droves. There's something going on there. And I'm going to say it's because
They don't have any money.
it's the French.
No, because Renault has a.
It's the French, man.
No, Renault has. They won all those championships with.
It's the French.
They were good from the beginning in 19. Because remember, they started Formula One in
Socialized
'77.
car racing doesn't work.
They won multiple races in the
It has
'80s.
to be
Then they won multiple championships with Renault.
has to be-
with Williams.
a full democratic, we take no prisoners system. They're too socialist at Alpine. That's
No,
what
they
it
were
is.
stupid. For years, they didn't even have a team principal. They're like, we're not going to have a boss. And anyways, let's move on. I don't think Alpine might be third or fourth this year or fifth. So,
I don't think so. I think Alpine's going to be.
I don't know. There's a lot of rumors going around that they're
know.
sandbagging. So
I'm going to say still. I'm going to go Williams at the back still.
I don't know about that. Williams.
Then I'm going to say AlphaTauri doesn't look that great either. AlphaTauri looked pretty bad. I don't think AlphaTauri's going to do that well this year.
I mean, they have Nick DeFries, who I want to see him do good because he did
thought
really good
Nick
in that.
DeFries was going to beat my boy Yuki. But now that I watch testing, that car is such of a dog compared to where they were like a couple years ago.
Yeah, their car laughed. And there's rumors on the street that
They're gone.
The AlphaTauri is up for sale. So
That's what I heard.
it could be the Michael Andretti team.
Whatever way they got to get in, I want Michael Andretti in.
Well, because it's owned by the shareholders of Red Bull, and it's up to them if they want to continue.
And I
Because they
think-
really don't need two Red Bull teams. Back in the day, some of these, like when they started Red Bull, they wanted a B team so they could develop their drivers because they had the drivers academy. They don't want to, like Sergio Perez is the first driver in the history of Red Bull
that
to
came
hire
outside.
somebody outside
Right,
of their drivers.
right.
Because everybody they put in the car didn't do it. They put in the Russian dude,
The
Kvyat.
Russian dude.
Then they put in
missile?
the torpedo.
The torpedo.
Then they put in Gasly.
Oh
who was a
man!
bust. Then
Look, I see a
Albon.
red button up there. Just went off. I don't know why the red button went off.
Go check it out.
I'm gonna go check it out. You keep talking about. What are you talking about? The
The
missile.
AlphaTauri, the torpedo.
Talk
Kvyat.
about him. Yeah. Let me see what's going on. With
Go
that
over
red
there
button.
and do your thing. Now he had his chance, but then he was. Did your camera stop working?
The red button went off.
What'd you do? Is it back on?
Yeah, that's back on.
Is that one working?
Yeah, that one's working.
All right. Well, what you get for buying junk?
Dude, that's not junk, bro.
Was that like thousands of dollars?
Thousands of dollars down the drain.
Okay. Anyways,
Lemonade.
I don't really want to talk about AlphaTauri because I don't think
drink.
I think they'll be lucky to score points this year.
I do too. I don't think
Well, I think the two back markers are going to be AlphaTauri and
And-
Alfa Romeo.
really.
Yeah, I don't think Alfa Romeo is going to be good this year because they don't have.
You
any-
think Williams is gonna be better than Alfa Romeo?
I don't know. They seem to have a better car than everybody thinks. That's what the word on the street is. That their car is good. But
But
it's,
then where's Haas gonna?
Well, Haas is a copy of last year's Ferrari, so I
Haas
don't
is
know.
going to be.
They
in
got
the
two good
mix.
drivers though. That's the one thing about
It's
Haas
crazy.
is they have,
Like I got
they-
that stupid camera. I brought this stupid camera in here
and it's not working.
Well, it just went off again. I don't know why it went off.
You don't know how to use the camera.
I do know how to use the camera. Now let's move on from AlphaTauri, and let's move on from Williams, and let's move on from and talk about a little bit about what you think of Kevin Magnussen versus Nico Hulkenberg.
They're
this
both
year.
solid B Formula One drivers. They're not going to make a lot of rookie mistakes like what happened the last 2 years with the Mazepin and Schumacher, who I don't know if Schumacher will ever get another opportunity. But now they have two veteran drivers who can drive. They don't. Kevin Magnussen had a fantastic year last year when they it went off again.
Did it? Yeah. We'll just have to figure.
We're taking the time. We're taking a technical break here.
Well,
Director Tillman wants to get his act back together.
you can.
Is the battery messed up?
No, it's not. The battery's full, bro.
All right.
The battery's full. So in testing, what did you think about? They had the soft tires. They had the.
And they had an experimental tire too that went
Which
the
one was
fastest.
that?
I think
Like
it was
a
called the
super
T-
soft?
Yeah, it was called the T3, I think.
And
But it was the fastest lap of the whole 3 days.
that was when Perez had it.
I think Perez had it.
Perez had the fastest lap of all the. Hamilton was up there, but Perez. What did you think about Zhao? He had the second day he had the fastest lap.
He's a good. What are you doing? The camera went off again.
There's something going on with this camera. I don't know.
Maybe we should just
I'll just turn this one off
turn that one off.
because we got this other one.
Okay.
We'll see how it looked anyway.
Yeah, it's something to
Something
to do.
to do.
Okay, I don't know. I mean,
I'll
I
let
think
it
we
run
talked.
at the house.
I think we
See
talked
what's
enough
going on.
about testing. I'm really interested to see what.
What about predictions?
I don't know because it's like we don't know what cars are going to show up on Friday for testing. Remember they get a whole
race weekend.
they get
Great.
Friday, Saturday. They have they have. Do they have 2 or 3? They have 2 testings on Friday and 1 on Saturday, and then they qualify. So they got 3
got
more
three practices.
They have 3 more practices.
Yeah.
So I'm just like on Friday. Look on your TV. I predict there being side pods on the Mercedes. That's a prediction. I predict there's going to be a lot of updates on these cars.
Mercedes is coming in with a full update package, but I don't think they're going to be.
I think they're going to be
Is that
side
going to be your?
pods.
I don't think so. I think that's.
Well, didn't I
I
say
still
at the
believe in the no side pod concept. They have a
Yeah,
side
but-
pod car waiting, but I think it's going to be.
I think
It wouldn't debut till probably the British.
I think it's going to be there on the car this weekend. I think a lot.
Do you?
I think.
I say no.
Well, no, there's a lot. I've been watching the internet the last couple of days, and
You've been watching the internet.
I've been watching idiots on Babel on TV, and they
Yeah.
all seem to think that Mercedes is coming with a completely different car.
I believe that.
Yeah. So, and the same. I don't think you're not going to see a lot of updates on the Red Bull for a while because they lost all that time in the wind tunnel.
Right, which is good. And I had an idea. Now, tell me what you think. They're always talking about, well, we got to get the midfield and the back markers to catch up. So what they should do is halfway through the season suspend updates for the top 5 cars. No, listen.
Yeah.
Top 5 teams get suspended updates. Only the back marking teams, the number 6 through 10, can bring updates to the car for the rest of the season to see if they can catch up to the pack. And the reason why I say that is because just think, Williams, last year, they were 2-3 seconds off the pace, right?
No, they weren't that far.
2 seconds,
They
probably.
were a second and a half.
2
or
seconds
something.
a lap, at least.
I don't remember now.
All right, say there was. Let's give it to
Even
them.
if they were half a second off the pace, that's a loss.
Let's say they were a second and a half off the pace, or a second off the pace. This year, they're 2 seconds faster than they were last year, but so are all the other cars. So they're still a second off the pace. So they can really never, ever, 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 ever really catch up because they're always going to be catching up just to where the cars were before.
Well,
that
if
are
you
in the
want to
front.
really put the cars together, and you want to take stuff away from people, take their tires away. If Williams got to have as many sets of the softs and then they could pit a couple more extra times and they go faster, and Mercedes only could have hard tires, you might have a race on your hands.
Well, I think they need to do some type of experiment where either the back four, 6 through 10, can develop more, and the first five can't at a point in the season, or bring in tire wars again. Stop yawning. Bring in another manufacturer, and then you have to pick which tire manufacturer you want
It
before
was
each
still
race.
two cars going for the every win. It was
Still?
it was still the Ferrari and
Even
the
back
Renault,
then?
even back then.
But just, I want more pit stops because I think more pit stops.
Oh well, that's what I keep telling
bringing more
everyone. If
strategy.
they
I think
didn't
more
have a
pit
hard tire,
stops
if they
bringing
only
more
had
mistakes, and then more pit stops.
if they only
gives
had
more
soft
respect.
tires, super soft tires. I've been saying this forever, and I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
only one. And give them as many sets as they want
Of just super softs.
of just super softs, because they're only going to go for about 10
Yeah,
laps
and no other tire.
and no other
No
tire.
other tire. No medium, no hard, just super softs.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
And then whoever's the best, well, that'll bring the best drivers to the front no matter what, because
Yeah.
they're going to, like, Lewis is the best on his tires by far.
But that's what I think we
And
need
the same
to
thing
do.
with
We need
Max.
to do more. Like they changed the regulations to bring everybody kind of close together, and then you saw, well, it kind of made more passing. You know, you could follow somebody.
Dude, they changed the cars last year and nothing
Right?
happened. It's still the top teams
It's
are
still
still
the
a
top
second
teams are
plus.
still the top teams.
They're still
So
a second plus.
we have to. I say tires.
Even though Sherman knows
Should
nothing
always
about
talk
tires.
I don't know why we talk about every show. We have to talk about freaking tires. Okay, but I like that.
I'm going to
idea.
take him driving before when it gets
We
warm
heard that
around
before.
here.
No one cares. No one cares. But I believe you. And
You don't believe me?
no, I believe you that super softs are the way to go, and that's your only option other than wet tires. So you have
Yeah.
wets, right? You have the wet, you have the full wet, you have the intermediate, and you have super softs. That's it. I like that idea.
Okay, well,
Chalk one up for the Lawler, man. Chalk one up. So saying that, yeah, no, number two,
uno, numero
number
uno.
uno,
Numero
cerveza.
zero.
€1.
What, you want a euro?
Huh?
You said a euro?
€1.
What, you want €1?
How much is €1 worth?
I think it's like $1.20 now or
Yeah,
something.
it's not. Yeah, America's been doing great on the dollar.
Okay, anyways, I kind of want to wrap this up because we're just kind of babbling now.
When you go traveling.
Well,
Anyway, so that's it for this show.
and Friday we'll know more because I
What
think
we're gonna do next in the next show, which will be, we're gonna take that show today. We're gonna talk about your favorite to Survive episode.
I haven't.
And how
I
bad
watched
it was
five.
this year.
I watched 5 minutes of it.
I
Couldn't
mean, it
stand
was
it.
bad.
That
I
should be
think
the episode.
To me, this was the worst season of Drive to Survive.
Did you watch the whole thing already?
I binged the whole thing in one day, bro. Like, I was sick, I was in bed, I just turned it on, and I watched it all. I was gonna make some popcorn, but it was so bad,
You didn't even want to run.
I didn't want to make popcorn. I was
Damn.
like, why make popcorn for what? And you know, you shouldn't. You never see people on air yawning. Have you noticed that?
No.
Let's stop it. Don't yawn.
I was
Like,
tired.
don't yawn.
I had a yawn and I yawned.
But you're not supposed to yawn.
Why? Is anyone paying us for this?
Yeah, where's our money?
Yeah, where's our
when
money?
is
We haven't
people
got a
gonna pay us
dollar
for
from
this?
you
Like,
people
we're
yet.
doing- yeah, you know, we do this all the time, not for our benefit, but for your benefit. Because all you get to listen to is those British people go, I'm on the map, and British. Do your British thing.
I hate the British.
And that's all you hear from. But you don't get to hear from us, the American people, talk about racing, because you know we love to race.
We like to drive around in circles.
We like to drive fast.
I guess so.
So that's it for this episode of America. You're supposed to finish that.
F1.
That's it. That's it for this episode of America.
F1.
So wrap, fool.
Why don't you just keep going and we'll do the next one?
We will, because I'm gonna.